7.1, adding and subtracting polynomials. The first definition is a monomial. And again, the definition of this is a real number, variable or variables, or product of a real number and variables with whole number exponents. And again, that's a long definition, but if you look at some of the examples, so it could be a real number. So this number 7 is, that's a monomial. And by the way, the prefix mono is like a single, means a single term. So it's a real number. It could be just a plain variable. See, a real number, a variable, or variables. So, I mean, we have 7x or 7x, or a product of real numbers and variables. So notice these are being multiplied together. So it's a number and a variable, a number and variables. All right, so those are all examples of a monomial. Now, the degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables of a monomial. Something I wanted to emphasize to you also is it has to be of a whole number exponent. So notice I have whole numbers there, so no negative exponents are allowed. So if I ask you, like, give me an example of something that's not a monomial, you can just say something like that. That is not a monomial, or X on the bottom. See, that is not a monomial. It has to have a positive whole number exponent to be able to do that. So we're only, for the rest of this course, basically, we're talking about polynomials, and so everything's really got to have a positive exponents for this. So the degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables of a monomial. So again, so this one, this has 9. There is no variable here. So if you wanted to write x to the 0, you could. That's the same thing as 9. Remember, x to the 0 is the same as 1. So really, this is 9 times 1, which is 9. All right, so it's the sum of the exponents. So this right here, this is a degree of 0. So this is degree of 0. So anytime I give you just a plain number, 8 or 7 or 13 or whatever it is, it has a degree of 0. Again, the sum of the exponents, so this has the only exponent this has of the variable is a 2, so this is degree 2. The sum of the exponents of a monomial, so this would be a degree 7. And again, notice this is a single term. This is a single term. It's all being multiplied together. It's a single term. So the degree, this is a degree 7. And so it's a 7th degree monomial. If you actually wanted to write it out, you write 7th degree monomial. And so this right here would be 10 plus 8 plus 1. So this is a 19th degree monomial. All right, so that's really what we would do. And again, all we're doing is classifying it, okay? This is your answer, okay? So all we're doing is classifying it. You can't actually combine your X, Y, and Z's together. We're just classifying it. Kind of like we have names, or like Mr. or Dr. or Mrs., something like that. This is a 19th degree monomial. We're just kind of classifying it. All right, so let's talk about a polynomial. A polynomial is one or more monomials added or subtracted together. And so we're going to start classifying it, just like we all have names or nicknames. Well, polynomials will actually have certain names and classifications as well. So when you have one or more monomials, it's a polynomial. So, and then let's talk about the degree of a polynomial. Well, it's the highest degree term. And so we're going to get to those special cases here in just a minute. So here's 3 special polynomials that we come across a lot in math. Monomial, again, notice the prefixes. If you notice the prefixes, a mono is a single term, a binomial is 2 terms, and then a trinomial is 3 terms. And so anytime I have just like, x squared plus x plus 1, that's a good example of a trinomial. 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. 3 separate terms, that's a trinomial. This is a polynomial, but it's a special type of polynomial because it has 3 terms, so it's called a trinomial. All right. So an example of a binomial would just be something like x plus 1. You have 1 term, two terms, and so that's added together, and so that's a binomial. And we've already talked about what a monomial is. So now if I had to classify each of these, so let's classify each one of these to make sure we understand what we're doing. So this is a single term, so it's also a number, okay? So we would just call this a monomial with the degree 0. Okay, and or if you want to call it a constant also, remember a constant is the same thing as a number. So it's a constant. And again, these are all polynomials. These are all polynomials. All right, remember, go back to the definition of a polynomial. And so these are all polynomials. We're just classifying. Right, this is a single term as well. So this is a monomial, and notice the degree is 2. So you would say this is a second degree monomial. Notice this one is 2 terms, and notice this degree right here is a 3, this degree is a 1, the highest degree, we just got done doing that definition, the degree of a polynomial is the highest degree. So this degree right here is a 3, this degree is a 1, the highest is a 3, so this is a third degree binomial because it has 2 terms. 1, 2, 3. So it's a trinomial. Notice this degree is 3, this degree is 2, this degree is 1, the highest is 3, so this would be a third degree trinomial. And remember, if it has 1 term, 2 terms, or 3 terms, they have special names: monomial, binomial, trinomial. Now, if something has more than 3 terms, it doesn't have a special name. All right, so this would be an 8th degree. And notice it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms in this polynomial. So you would just say 8th degree, 5 term polynomial. Remember, if it has a special name, I want you to name it, okay? But if it doesn't have a special name, like 4 terms, 5 terms, just say how many terms it has. So a standard form of a polynomial is I want you to write it in descending degree order. So notice this degree is 1. Remember, numbers have degree 0. This is degree 3. This is degree 4. This is degree 2. And we're basically going to number it from the highest to the lowest. So this would be the highest one. So you're just going to rewrite it. It's kind of like putting people in the tallest order and all the way to the shortest person. So that's really what we're sort of doing. We're taking the highest degree, and then we're going to take the next highest degree, and then we're going to take the next highest degree, and then we're going to take the next highest degree, and then finally the number. And notice the exponents count down, and this is called descending order. So all of our answers from now on need to be in descending order, the highest degree first. So again, if I had to classify this, just one more page of classification, just to refresh our memories. This is degree 7. This is degree 9. This is degree 3. So we always write the highest degree first. So this goes first. So 6x to the 8th y is written first. Then plus 4x cubed, y to the 4th, and then minus xy squared. Again, highest degree first. All right, now let's finally get to adding and subtracting polynomials. So all this is basically adding like terms, something you should already be familiar with. So we're just going to take this polynomial, it's actually a trinomial, and we're going to add it to another polynomial, which again is also a trinomial. So all we're going to do is add like terms. If you notice, I'll just do it for this first one. We have 4x squared and 3x squared. Those are like terms because they have the same exponent and the same variable. 3x and x are like terms because they have the same variable. And then finally, these are just plain numbers. And so we're just going to combine like terms together. So that would give us 7x squared. Notice I have 4 of them. I have 3 of them. That means 7 of them. and then I'm going to combine the x's together, that's 4 of them, and then I'm going to combine the numbers together, and that's -4. Now, some people like writing this vertical, by the way, 4x squared plus 3x minus 5, and then 3x squared plus x plus 1, and then just adding in columns. You can do that as well if you want. I think it's an extra step that you have to show. I prefer just adding horizontally or just adding them mentally. So let's look at the next one. Again, we're going to combine like terms. This is 3x to the 8th. There is no other x to the 8th, so we're just going to write 3x to the 8th. And then again, we want to put it in descending order, so the next one is 2x to the 7th. So we're going to add 2x to the 7th. And then notice the next highest exponent is x squareds. And notice this one, we have -4 of them and +4 of them. So they actually are going to cross each other out. And then we have +3x plus x, +4x, and then finally the numbers 1 plus 9 is 10. So this is my final polynomial answer, and notice the answer is also in descending order. So let's do one subtraction problem. The thing you got to be careful with subtraction is you got to make sure you use that distributive property. So that's -8x cubed plus 2x squared minus 9x minus 1. And then this one, I'm just going to bring it down. And then I finally combine like terms. In the same way, I'm going to start with my highest exponent, highest degree. And then I'm going to combine my x squareds together. That's 5 of them. Notice my answer is going to be in descending order. I have -x and -9x. That's -10x. And then finally, the numbers +4 and -1 is +3. So that's my final polynomial answer. And I could classify that if I wanted to. That would be like a 3rd degree 4-term polynomial. Now, if I had a problem like this and I asked you to find the perimeter, well, remember what perimeter means. If I was to walk around this object and add all 4 sides, that's really what perimeter is. So if I added all 4 of those sides, remember, this is 3x plus 2, so is this one. And if this side's x plus 1, so is this one. And so you're just going to add literally 3x plus 2 plus x plus 1. So literally walk around that object. And so I'm really adding a bunch of polynomials together. All right, so I have that polynomial added to that polynomial, added to that polynomial, added to that polynomial. And then I just combine like terms. So add all my x's together, I get 8x, add all my numbers together, and I get 6. So this is the perimeter of that rectangle. And the same thing here, if I ask you to find the perimeter of this as well, well, notice the triangle has all 3 sides marked equally, so this is an equilateral triangle. So this literally is 4x plus 2, this is 4x plus 2, and this is 4x plus 2. And then just add all those together, and we're going to get 12x plus 6, and that would be the perimeter of that triangle. And that's adding and subtracting polynomials.